steal, and destroy. But I told the devil that I'm going on with the Lord. Then he tried to make me change my mind by putting me under pressure, a whole lot of money and a lot of bribes, but I never gave up. I never gave up. I never gave in. I never gave in. I kept the faith, and I got to make it in. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Church, you know that I'm glad. I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad. My soul has been saved. I'm glad. And I'm on my way. I'm glad. The devil's mad. I'm glad. Because he's missed the soul. I'm glad. That he thought he had. I'm glad. Another reason. I'm glad. Another reason I'm glad. I'm glad. I got health and strength. I'm glad. And my heart is fixed. I still got joy. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I still got joy. If you agree with me, everybody sing with me. I still got it. I still got my joy. The devil thought he had me, but I sure got away. I got joy through my heartache. I got joy through my pain. Joy through my misery. I got joy through the rain. You can't make me doubt it, cause I know too much about him. He's been good to me, more than I can see. I may not have a lot of gold, but I still got joy. I may not have a bank account that overflows, but I thank you. Thank you, Lord. One thing I know, and that is for sure, down in my heart, I have so much joy, for the joy of the Lord. It is my strength, this joy that I have. This world didn't give it, and they sure can't take it away. I still got my joy.
I use Rocket Lawyer to make sure my business is on a solid foundation, because I'm a contractor, not a lawyer. Rocket Lawyer.
Hey Parents, streaming September 8th.
Welcome to the New Life Show. We are here this afternoon to just have a wonderful time and to share information. We are so thankful today to be with the Glory 107.9 FM 980 AM WDDO. We are here. We want to thank you for tuning in. We want you to share the broadcast 107 Facebook page, all our Facebook viewers, all of our listeners. We want you to engage today. We want you to call in because we are really excited. There is a special guest today. We want to welcome her, give her a big Georgia welcome to WDDO and to the New Life Show. I have had the honor of speaking with her, the author. Hallelujah. Welcome, welcome. The first 5 steps for living your best life. I want to just welcome you, my dear. It is an honor
Uh,
and a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are great. I've been looking forward to this.
I want you to tell us about your book. I want you to just open up,
Okay.
just share, just feel comfortable because there's some nuggets that you're going to share with us that's going to be life changing. And I was looking forward to meeting you as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am Yvonne Victor and I'm a life and business coach. I'm based out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh, but I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, from South Los Angeles. And almost about this time last year, I was finishing up writing my first book, Unstuck: The First 5 Steps to Living Your Best Life. Thank you. And published it last November as a response to a lot of conversations I was having with people during the discovery call period of my practice, which is a discovery call. It's just an initial free phone call that I give for 15 minutes for people to, call, ask me any questions, see if my practice is a good fit for them, if I can assist them in their journey. And I found that there was a lot of similarities in the calls and the things that people were saying. And I would say this, normally we want to jump right into our goals, right? Especially like in the New Year's. Everybody's like, January 1st, I've got my New Year goal. But there's a lot of preparation that comes before or should come before jumping into your goals to make sure that you're successful, right?
Absolutely.
So the statistics say that out of all the people who make New Year's resolution, I think about 8% of them actually do it. And so that's crazy. So I said, you know what? I really want people to be able to do this preparation work before they get to me. I think it's going to make them more successful. It's going to help them in the journey. I think it's just some basic knowledge that we don't think about, like, it's not part of our regular thinking pattern. It's different questions that a therapist or a coach would ask you, but very relevant questions. And so I was like, God was like, I know you weren't thinking about writing this book, but you're gonna write this book. So and put it together. And once I just said yes, I mean, it just started to flow, and the assistance from other people started to flow. And some of my clients were like, hey, we want in, we have something to share too. And so far, just everybody seems to be touched in one way or another by this book. It, blows me away each and every day.
I want to touch on something that you just said that is so vital. And sometimes it takes people years, decades of their life. So we have a lot of millennials that pre plan, they are planners.
Mhm.
And being a baby boomer, we our generation was just work hard, just
That's
go at
it.
it, go at
That's
it, go
it.
at it. Nowadays, I'm looking at because we raise millennials.
Right.
I I watch them and how they maneuver in the world. And I see that they are big on life coaching. They're big on therapeutic and holistic
Yeah.
methodologies and modalities. I
Yeah.
noticed something in the back of your book, and we're going to head to the front, but I've always looked at the back of a book first. That's just me. And
Hmm.
I know, right? And the back of your book identified something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called an investment and development. I'm huge on personal development.
Yes,
And
girl.
before we can do anything in our life, I really believe you should have some form of investment and personal development. And I think that is something we should focus on, because I can tell in your writing also, you give steps. And
Yes.
even in ministry, I've heard people say, you all preach to us, but you don't tell us how to do
Don't
what
tell
you're
us how
telling.
to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I want you to discuss with the WDDO listeners who are out there, Facebook fans that are out there, and people in general that would like to gain information on becoming more empowered in the midst of we're in the last, 5 months of the year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
were saying, a lot of goals possibly were not met, but let's start over,
Yes.
because maybe some of those goals have to be reevaluated. Can you discuss that with us?
Yes.
How to go from here?
So here's the thing. First, let me say, you start where you are. There's
Yeah.
no particular date or time or anything. You start where you are. This is your personal journey. You're running in your lane, and it is the right time for you and your life. Okay.
Mm,
People come to me at all stages in their lives. I get some younger people, they have a set of challenges that they're going through. I get people our age, I get people older than us.
yes.
Just come. Just come, right? Just come. There's
Well,
no I'm too old, or my time is gone.
I
That's
know.
flimsy now. So I'm not about that at all. I'm like, just come, because as long as you are breathing air, as long as you haven't gone home to glory, you
Hmm.
got work to do. There's some value that you can add to this world. And I don't know about everybody else, but I want whatever it is you came here to bring. Because look, y'all about to get me preaching. Because God, yeah, and I don't get to have these kind of conversations a lot, but
I
I'm about
love it.
so I'm gonna come how I come.
Come on, come
You
on.
know,
I need you, beautiful, to come on, because you know what you're saying. That's what we want. We want you to say what's going to change people's lives. So many times we have people that tell us what we want to hear, but
yeah,
I need you to tell me what I need to do.
I hear you. This book gives the first 5 steps. First 5 steps. It's an easy read. It's a short book. It's like a conversation, and it was made that way, right?
Yeah.
And with some action items. I'm an action item kind of girl. Even when I worked in corporate, I was the one in the meetings that was like, hey, this is all lovely. Everybody has said whatever they're going to say. What are we going to do? Because faith without works,
It's
that means
dead.
something is dead. So you can sit and pray to God all you want and wish and hope.
Mm,
Nothing happens until you do something. You have to start the momentum. You have to create energy and let energy move in anything that you're doing. Okay. And it's more than just wishing about it. It's something. And so I hope that even buying the book, even just buying the book, it's a $10 book, and reading it and starting to do the few steps in it will start the momentum moving in your life towards whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, right? And so I just finished putting together a little webinar I think I want to give pretty soon, on the first step. On the
okay.
first step, because I
Yes.
had so much feedback. The first step is giving yourself permission. And
Wow.
people got stopped right there. People got stopped. I mean, we're talking about this is like a little over 100 pages to read. This is
Yes.
nothing. People got stopped right there. They said it hit them really hard. It hit them really hard because and I'm going to say particularly African American people,
Say it.
I'm gonna say it, y'all might be mad, but we have a hard time giving ourselves permission to be great.
Mm,
Hear me. Hear me. We have a
yes.
hard time giving ourselves permission to be
Great.
great. And great we are. Great
Yes.
we are. There is
Yes.
a 400 to 1 trillion chance that
Yeah.
there will ever be another you.
Yes.
The scientists have done the work for you. That means pretty much there'll never be another Yvonne. There'll never be another Dr. Armstrong. This is it. So whatever we were sent here to do to add value to this world, if we don't do it, it's not getting done. There's no other person like us who's going to come along and do it.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. That's so empowering. And my dear, I'd certainly want to partner with you from this day forward because
Absolutely. More my
I,
pleasure.
I know it's a divine sacred connection.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know it.
Yes, ma'am.
My family even knows it. My big aha moment is your first impression is your last expression. Also, every mentor needs a mentor, every coach needs a coach, every preacher needs a
That's right.
preacher, every
That's right.
surgeon needs a surgeon, every therapist needs a therapist. I am profound on that methodology and theology of life. Someone, someone has to lead you,
Yes.
influence you, and
Yes, ma'am.
guide you.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And then you choose those people wisely.
Yes.
And and
Yes.
and none of us have arrived here. Your book, your deep conversation that we even had last week,
Yes.
Yvonne, when I went in there, I went in with confidence on that
Did
trip.
you? Good. Good. Good.
And
Good.
everything that they had told me over the phone, none of it was discussed. So you know what I did as a wise woman? I didn't open my mouth about it either.
Good.
I continued to do what God
Good.
called me to do.
Good.
And it is because of your influence, your encouragement, your skills.
You're gonna have me on here
Because
crying in a minute.
I'm going to throw this out here. What Dr. Moss told us last night in the
Mhm.
clinical counseling course. Counseling is not advice; it's a skill.
It's a skill.
So
It's
I'm
a
going
skill.
to say this: your coaching is not advice; it's a skill.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
and everyone doesn't have it. That is why this book is so empowering and what we do.
Yeah.
I want you to know that your voice is so calming, your demeanor, you're beautiful inside and out.
Thank
And
you.
accountability also is mentioned in your book.
Hmm.
Accountability partners
Hmm.
are vital in our lives.
Hmm.
Who's going to, who's going to, well, let's put it this way. Who are we going to trust in our lives beside God, right?
Right.
To lead us, for us to be accountable to. Can you talk about what you think hinders people from being accountable to someone else for
Ah,
their,
yes.
for their own success
Yes,
sometimes?
yes, yes. I think a number of things. I think that we have this assumption that we're supposed to do as adults. Let me say this: as adults, we're supposed to know it all, and we're supposed to do it all ourselves. And if we ask for help or we have help or assistance from somebody else to obtain a thing or be a thing or whatever it is, that it doesn't count almost. And that is fallacy. That's
Wow.
false. We
Wow.
were sent here to work with one another.
Yeah.
Everything in nature works together.
Yes.
Everything. Why don't humans? We were made by the same God that created the flowers and the trees and the animals. They all know their place. They all know where they fall in the system. We have to know where we fall. It is quite all right to ask for help. So that's number one. You have never arrived. Just like I said, if you're still alive, you have time to do something, to grow. You can continue to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's
Exactly.
me.
That makes sense. And before we let you go on the station, but not out of our lives, we're going to bring you back again. I want you to know that.
I would love to come.
Please, I want you to come back with us
I would-
because there's so much to unpack. But I want you to do me a big favor to the
Yes, ma'am.
WDDO family and Facebook audience and the listeners. Could you please let us know? I've read it, The 5 Steps to Living Your Best Life. I see people all on here saying, I can't wait to read her book. I can't wait. And we're going to bless someone that calls in with a book, with questions. We're going to bless you with a book. We need you to call in and ask questions. I know you need this, and pride leads to destruction. Call in,
Oh,
ask a question, because we're all here to rise
yes.
up, right? And to lift you up as you lift
Lift
us
one
up.
another up. Lift
What
one
are the
another
5
up.
steps? Lift us up. Come on. Yvonne, what are the 5 steps you would give? You know, they always say 3 points when you preach, but what's, I give more than
I got
3.
5.
Okay,
Right.
I got,
I got 5.
because
I
I
got a
love the
little.
number. Yeah, the number of grace is 5. So what?
Amen. Amen. So the first step is giving yourself permission to be
Wow.
great, to have a thing that you want, to go where
Yes.
you want, to live like you want. Take the chains off of you, because
Yeah.
you're the jelly and the jailer. Nobody else is holding you back. Okay, so
Wow.
let's all understand that
Okay.
you are free in God. Number 2 is humility. Learn to be humble. This is one of my favorite lessons. I was so happy to be able to include it in the book. You have to know in any given situation when you are the teacher and when you are the student. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. To be humble is not to be weak. Also, the dictionary says to be humble is to choose to lower yourself. So when I am the student, when I am in a situation where I don't know everything, I am choosing to humble myself to whoever is the teacher at that moment.
Yes.
Okay. So we're not always the teacher, we're not always the student. You're one or the other, and being cognizant of that helps you. So that's number 2. The third point is commitment. You got to commit. I mean, burn the boat. I mean, no plan B. I'm most definitely going to do this thing. I'm most definitely going to obtain this thing, no matter what happens. Before you jump into your goals, you have to make up in your mind. I mean, when I talk to my clients before they start, I'm like, hey, there's no going back. There's no going back. The only thing I have in my head is that you're going to win. And I'm here to help you win, to get where you're going. And so make sure you're gonna meet me there. Okay. So you got to have that kind of commitment, right?
Uh-huh.
The next one is to engage, which comes back to works. You have to do something. You have to do something. I don't care if you want to lose weight, you got to exercise. You got to go to the doctor. You got to take your meds if you need them. You got to, eat right. You can't just sit there and go, Lord, I would like to lose 50 pounds. And he's like some magician. It's like, bam, and it happened. No, if that were the case, look, I
Me
got a
too.
few extra that I would love to let go, but it doesn't work that way. You have to do something. Okay. So you want to fully engage, you want to play full out in whatever it is that you need to do to get where you're going. And then the last one, which you mentioned before, is investment. Now, this one always trips people up
I know.
because for some reason we think that we're going to get something without giving.
Well,
I, I don't. That
well,
has happened for me. If somebody knows, please let me know,
please let me
because whether we're talking about giving your time, whether we're talking about giving your energy, or whether we're talking about making a financial investment, if you want it, be ready to give one or all 3 of those things. You absolutely have to. And so I tell my clients, weigh the cost, because they vacillate, on what the cost of coaching, what the cost of counseling is. I'm like,
yes.
well, weigh the cost of being mentally ill against what you're going to pay me.
Woo.
Weigh
Wait,
the cost of your marriage failing as opposed to what you're going to pay me.
that's
How
good.
much would you pay to live your absolute best life? To wake up every day happy, knowing what you're going to do, having great relationships, your money is tight. I mean, you one with God. Let me tell you, read the book. It tells some of my story, as you're very well aware.
Yes.
It started off rough.
Please
It
let them
started
know we didn't just get here.
No, it started off rough, but I
We went,
persevered and I kept trying, and I made investments in myself. When my friends were having fun, when I was 20, I was a single mom. When they were having fun and traveling and doing what 20-year-olds should do, right?
right, right.
I had a son. I had to do some other things. And so, I had to invest in school and books and coaching, and counseling also is a big part of my life. So make the
I saw
investment.
absolutely. I absolutely. You know what, Yvonne? I saw that when you said invest in a therapist, um, self-development,
Yeah.
all of those things particularly are so needed. and it's a valuable nugget of knowledge. And when I'm counseling, especially young women, I'm encouraging them to please invest. If you don't do anything else, invest in one.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, that someone said, "Well, I'm not getting the attention I need." I said, "What type of attention are you trying to get? Are you trying to get it from here or here?" So, in this last 2 minutes, we want to thank you, and
Thank you, guys.
we want to welcome you again and welcome you again. And this was great, Yvonne. I love
Thank you
you.
so much, Dr.
And
Armstrong.
WDDO, we all welcome you and look for you to come back again. Thank you to our Facebook
Wow.
listeners.
Thank you so much.
Share, share, share. You can go back and look again. And we thank you. New
Thanks for
Life
having
Show,
me, guys.
you're welcome.
You've been listening to Dr. Sheryl Armstrong, the New Life Show. That's here every Thursday, same time, same place. WDDO 980, 107.9 FM. That's the New Life Show.